We're here with holiday cheer throughout the new year, and guess where Santa Claus is? Getting his hair at the hair salon. And maybe his beard done as well. This is a special midday recording of Holidays LA with big updates about your second stimulus check and second stimulus package. As four Scrooges, not Wiseman, meet in Washington minutes right now to discuss everything about you and me. And and when they can take another vacation. We're Sirloin. He's about to get the Cadillac and drive over to make sure you get your stimulus check as well. It's Holidays LA. Thank you for joining me on a great midday recording, and let's get rocking and rolling. I'll have some holiday decor coverage at the 10-minute mark, but first, some updates about your second stimulus check for about 10 minutes. This is our midday recording. Lighthearted, easy breezy, gives you a little bit of update about what's going on with your stimulus and stimulus. And then at the 10-minute mark, we get to some holiday decor. We're simulcast today in the IG, the Instagram room. So thank you for people who are tuning in from both Instagram and also YouTube live. I really appreciate it. If you did not watch holidays, if you did not watch Mornings LALATE, it's in the pinned comment of this video. So please tune in and watch that video. That was a big one. You rarely see me make a recording like that, Mornings LALATE. It was a big one intended for you to share and tag and share to get the message out loud and clear that people need to argue and fight for your stimulus check. There's too much lack of fighting for stimulus check and more about reporting and reporting and reporting. Well, we are sort of an economic social grassroots effort. We're an economic grassroots effort. We need to get the message loud and clear. Stimulus check or else. So let's get right to it. What's happening right now? Well, four people are meeting right now, and what are they doing? And what are they saying? I can reenact what they're doing. Currently meeting are Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Kevin McCarthy, and Mitch McConnell. Two Republicans, two Democrats, no independents, and no one under the age of 50 years old in the room, of course. And what are they talking about? They're talking about me. I'm just kidding. They're talking about you. Well, yeah, they're probably talking about you. No, what they're talking about is the stimulus, the CR, the congressional budget bill, the bill from yesterday, and everything else that's going on with Bernie and Josh. So let me recap you where we are right now. It may seem a little confusing because there's just stuff everywhere. There's literally just stuff everywhere. So where we are right now is we have really at the moment two bills. We have a lot of proposals. We have like 50 proposals, but we got two bills. One bill, it's a bunch of mess. We have one bill that would start in the House and go to the Senate, and we have one bill that's already in the Senate that would go to the House. Sound confused enough yet? It is. The one bill that's in the Senate is Josh Hawley's standalone stimulus check bill, supported by Bernie Sanders, supported by AOC, Elizabeth Warren, supported by senators who are Democrats, and supported by some independent and Republicans. This is really exciting news. $1,200 adults, $500 children. And we now know that Bernie wants you to all have $1,200, whether you're adult dependent or minor dependent, whether you're on SSI or SSI, whether you're on Social Security or railroad benefits. He wants you to have that stimulus check. So that's all really good news. $500 for children. This is in the Senate. Now, remember, for anything to pass law, it has to go from the House to the Senate to the President. It also can go from the Senate to the House to the President, but it has to pass three bodies of law. Well, what Josh and Bernie are trying to do is do a checkmate. They're trying to block anything that comes from the Temple of Doom to the Senate and block it with a check bill that says, do our bill, or we're not going to allow you to get any of this other stuff done. They've been very emphatic about, they've not changed their position. It's a great move. It's a great idea. Let me explain how this works, because it's a little confusing to some viewers. The federal budget bill has to be done every 3 months. Every 3 months, someone has to do a bill. It's for the federal budget. It doesn't concern you. And the federal budget bill is due now, and it has to be done again. Well, it has to be approved by the Senate, the House, and the President. Well, Bernie, Josh, and the Democrats in the Senate are saying, you know what? When it lands here in the Senate, we're going to block it unless you pass our stimulus check bill first. Otherwise, we're going to vote against anything that lands here. And they're very emphatic about how good anything else is. They don't care how good anything else is. They're going to get the check first. So what I want you to understand is that you can hear other stuff rumbling. You can hear other stuff happening. There's a bill, and the problem, and then the MIT, and there's all these things. But ultimately, when it lands in the Senate, what's going to happen in the Senate? You got two forces. You got the force of Josh, Bernie, Democrats, you, me, and then you have the force of Mitch, which I haven't gotten to. You have the force of Mitch. And if either of those don't want anything that's landing from the House, you're going to have to shut down the federal government. No one's going to get a check. The government's going to shut down, and they're not going to get a check, and you're not going to get a check. So let me tell you where we are right now. Those four charming, delightful, just charismatic, so caring people, Nancy, Chuck, Kevin, and Mitch, are meeting. What are they eating? I don't know. What do you think they're eating at their lunch right now? Drop in the comments. I'd love to see what you think that Mitch, Nancy, Chuck, and Kevin are eating for lunch while they're talking about your stimulus. Ice cream, lobster, burnt hamburgers, bacon, mojitos. Oh, I love that. Munchin is munching on something. Someone's lobster rolls and ice cream. Chicken fingers, steak and lobsters, chopped liver. Oh my goodness. Oh my Lord. Sirloin. No, they are not eating sirloin. That's just not funny. That's not surf and turf. Yeah, just they can't surf and they can't get the turf. That's it costs a lot. Yeah, guess who's paying for their lunch? We are. So they're meeting right now, and yeah, we are paying for their lunch as we try to sit here and have ramen noodles for lunch. They're having lobster and $12 ice cream. So they're meeting, and so what are they talking about? We don't know. What are they going to do afterwards? You know what they're going to do afterwards. They're going to call a press conference, and Nancy's going to say, "Mitch has killed people." It's going to say Mitch has killed people. Mitch is going to say Nancy has a wish list. She has a Democrat wish list. Then Kevin McCarthy's going to say and then Chuck Schumer's going to say it's anorexic. It's anorexic what Mitch has. It's anorexic. And then Nancy's going to throw in some children going hungry, crush the virus, and the usual, those catchphrases. She has them in her pocket, just sort of reads them off memory. Now, what do you think is going on in the negotiations? Here's what I think is potentially going on in the negotiations, and this is not guessing. This is based upon 7 months of dealing with these people. Mitch McConnell has never gone above $500 billion on any stimulus relief. He's never gone over $500 billion. That's the first thing. But the bigger one is he's never taken out liability insurance. That's the second big thing. The other one is he's never agreed to state and local of any dollar value. The only person who gave you state and local was Steve Mnuchin. Nancy Pelosi, on the other hand, has never agreed to Mitch's liability insurance, and she has never agreed to any stimulus package less than $900 billion. So do I see any progress possible for these people? I don't see any possibility of progress for these people. I don't understand how these two groups that have never changed for 5 months would suddenly change today. I don't see a mechanism for them to change. I don't see there's a way for them to change. Mitch is obsessed with this liability insurance. Nancy is obsessed with state and local. And the rest of the deal provisions are not so agreed upon either. Let me go over those deal provisions because I see some more stuff now about them, which I've not covered on this channel. So for PUA and UI, we talk about that every day on Being a Mitch. PUA and UI. What's important to understand is what's going on with the PUA and UI part of this bill and the FPUC. First of all, they want to extend PUA and UI longer than they initially wanted to. The proposals last week were PUA and UI for 1 month. Remember me always saying, okay, they want to do it for 1 month. They want to do it for 1 month. They want to do. Now they're saying 4 months. So they want to do PUA and UI for 4 months. That's the first thing. The second one is the FPUC. When you hear about this FPUC, you're going to take the phone and throw it out the window. You know what I'm about to say that I don't like about this FPUC. Well, no, it is $300 a week. We all know it's $300 a week. The problem is that they want to do FPUC and they want to do it uh, not for 4 weeks for January. They want to do it for 4 months. They want to do FPUC for 4 months at $300 a week. And guess what? They're going to say, that's really good for you. What word is missing from the FPUC? Yeah, Jed Knight Jarek just said the word on screen. Repeat the word if you think you know what the word that's missing from this FPUC going forward for 4 months. Guess which word is missing? Julie just said it. Lisa just said it. Let's see. William just said it. Ann said it. Scott just said it. Miss Ashley just said it. Alicia, how about in the IG room? Did anyone in the IG room say the word? Big Bear, Diana said the word. David said the word. Candace in the IG room just said the word. Retroactive, not in there. Now you know what I've been saying for the last couple days. I saw a problem when they were trying to go forward for 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, that's a setup. They're trying to go forward for 3 weeks and forget about the 22 weeks of FPUC. Guess what they're trying to do now? Not 3 weeks. They're trying to go forward 4 months. 4 months at $300 a week and say, this is the new FPUC. It starts now and it goes forward. They really think we're idiots. They want to start the FPUC now and go forward. And someone just said it starts with an S and ends with an REW out of 30 weeks. Yeah, they want to cheap you out of 30. They want to cut you out of 30 weeks and go forward for 4 months and cut you out of 30 weeks. It's just insane. Now, God, it just, I really think they think we're a bunch of buffoons. Now, it was one thing to think, okay, they're going to give us 3 weeks and we're going to take care of it in January. Joe Biden keeps on saying, I'm going to give you FPC retroactive to July. It's going to be $600 a week. Okay, so Joe's going to take care of that in January. Why is anyone in their right mind talking about stuff till April or May? When Joe is saying, I'm going to come in January and take care of it, I'm going to take care of this in about 3 weeks from now. Why is anyone trying to jump over Joe and usurp Joe or undo Joe and go forward 4 months and say, hey, you're done. Congratulations. It's insane. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, there's a little bit of crackling sound in the background. Sorry about that. So what's important to understand is that it's just crazy. Now, what I'm saying to you is that I don't want you to like this bill. I don't want you to endorse this bill. I just think it's just horrid. All right. So with that, what do we now know? We now know that unless someone in the Senate is going to roll over and just not understand anything that's going on, I would assume Democrats in the Senate can understand that this is a mess. You're suddenly going forward 30 weeks and you're not going retroactive for 30 weeks. So we're just sort of forgetting the 30 weeks. I'll make this even clearer to you. It means that you have to stay unemployed to get benefits. It means you have to stay unemployed to get benefits. So the reality of the situation is that you have not gotten benefits of FPUC. You've struggled, and now they don't want to give you anything. They want to say, stay unemployed for the next half a year, then we'll take care of you. You know how long it takes to earn 30 weeks of unemployment benefits? 6 months. So you would never get 30 weeks of unemployment benefits from Mitt Romney or these charming people, the prom creators, or what's the other guy's name? Cassidy, unless you're unemployed for 6 months. Do you think any of the viewers in this channel want to stay unemployed for 30 months to get what they're owed? It's just crazy. Shut it down. Shut it down. Everyone is just saying shut it down. If you believe it's time to shut down the federal government, say in the comments, shut it down. Let me see how many people believe it's time to shut it down, because I just think it's getting crazy. Shut it down, says Scott. They don't care if we die. Shut it down, says Steve, Sev, Marco, Carlos, Miss Ashley, Thomas, Diane, and Demo, Bella, Sally, Pam, that Princess, Andrew, Jennifer. Shut it down. Shut it downtown. Shut It Down, Amanda, Colette, Monica, and in the IG room, Mystical and Frozen in the IG room, and Mariah in the IG room. It's insane. I mean, I thought I was going to sit here and talk about how I didn't like the bill because it talked about business, businesses first and business first. Now I'm looking and realize, okay, everyone that has not gotten relief for 30 months is sort of just sort of supposed to forget about. Oh, I'm not done yet. So, at this point, you're probably you're probably grinding your teeth. Get ready to move away from fine china in the room. Move away from all cutlery because I'm about to really give you the whammo on top of that. So, guess what? The bill also talks about a big problem across the country, which I did not know, which is some states are coming after unemployment recipients, saying you are overpaid because of an error in the unemployment system. I was not aware of this situation. The bill talks about, again, this is a bill from Mitt. The bill talks about that states are now coming after unemployment recipients because the states, not you, the states made a mistake in a calculation. You wonder why this thing is just so darn confusing. Made a mistake in the calculation, and so they're coming after people for thousands and thousands of dollars of paid unemployment benefits. That was not your fault. You did not do anything. I am not kidding. And so now the bill says, you know what? We need a provision in here to ensure that the states can weigh that and just sort of forget about it. It doesn't say the states have to do it. It just says the states may do it. So now the bill actually talks about an inherent problem that states may have overpaid people and now are coming after you for thousands of dollars that you don't have it. So on top of not giving you 30 weeks, now they want to come after you for money. It's just crazy. You know, you wonder why I don't screen grab. I'm not one of those people that has a video and then I watch the video and I put the headphones on my ear because I would literally be throwing the headphones and smashing them on the set. I would be so pissed after watching the silliness. It's just crazy. Where are they getting that from? It's just awful. It's just horrid. It shut it down, says viewers. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. So now you realize how they really don't care about you, how it's just getting to be an absolute debacle. And that's why you look at wonderful Josh, God bless him, wonderful Josh with his 12-page bill. I mean, this is page 1, but it's 12 page. It just says, send out stimulus check. I mean, that's all it says. Just send out stimulus check. It's just so nice and clean. Everything else is so dirty with these people at this point. Revolt, says Demon. It's just dirty now. And it's just a mess. No, it's 12. Josh's bill is 12 pages of a stimulus check, $1,200 for adults, $500 for children. Send it out. Mitch, Bernie says all adults will get a stimulus check, so we're covered with that. It's just crazy. Now, the reason why I tell you these things is not to make you upset or to make you angry, which I'm sure you really are right now. It's to tell you that how procedurally you need to get the push in a certain direction. Are they accepting Josh's bill? So that's a great question. So let me explain again how this is working. Josh's bill has been introduced to the Senate. Okay. So to call a bill for the vote, either Mitch can call a bill for the vote or someone else can call the bill for a vote. And the question is, when will the bill be called for a vote? Well, Bernie has made it very clear. This is procedurally how he's going to do it. That's why I call this checkmate. Bernie's going to say at one point somewhere in this week, you know what? We're going to call Josh's bill for a vote, and you're going to pass Josh's bill, or we're going to vote against anything coming from Nancy's house. As simple as that. I don't know what I can use for an example for it, but it's sort of like if you're at a delicatessen and there's two people waiting in a line, and there's one for pastrami and one for corned beef. We're like, I'm going to take the person for pastrami first. I'm not going to do the corned beef first because I see the person with corned beef is going to be a problem. I'm going to do the pastrami first. And then if the person says, you know what, I'm going to take the other one before you. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to lock the door so you don't leave the delicatessen because you're not going to do that. So what you need to really do is you need to be very loud and vocal on Twitter. You need to be very local on Twitter and say, hey, you got to get a stimulus check out. This is insane. You have to get a stimulus check out. You have to support Josh. You have to support Bernie. You have to support AOC and Elizabeth Warren. You can't keep on playing these games. I thought when we were talking about the problem creators, that is, 500, 600, 800 billion dollar bill, where most of it was, this and that. Suddenly it's ballooning into this monolith of bad stuff. It's not, it's just wacko. It's getting wacko by the minute. And everything the problem creators do is they try to pitch a narrative that they're helping people. So go on social media and tag the problem creators and say, you're creating a problem. You're creating a problem. Um, Questions you may have so far before we turn to holiday decor. Sir Lloyd, just got to shut down the government. Stimulus checks, amen. You need younger people in Congress. Very well said. They're just out of whack. Any update on PA? So I assume you mean PUA. So what they're proposing in this House bill, not the Senate bill, PUA and UI till April. Storm the Bastille. What did I miss? What did I miss? Uh, can someone please give a heart for Mitch? Okay, so the strange will. Do you think Mitch will take Josh's bill for a vote? Um, the interesting thing about this equation is that Josh and Bernie have not said anything negative about Mitch, which is actually quite good. All they've said is you're not going to do anything else until you do our bill first. Mitch's holdup is this liability provision. We don't have any clarity from the other Democrats in the Senate as to this liability provision. The fact that okay, so I have not covered Mitch that much in this video. Mitch is still at $500 billion. Mitch has been at $500 billion since April. I don't know why we wake up in December and suddenly we'd see, okay, Mitch is at $900 billion. I don't see that. What is Mitch's encouragement to go from $500 billion to $900 billion? What are my thoughts of the possibilities? The possibilities are, they do Josh and Bernie's bill first. And then they figure out a way to do the Senate bill. Two, they say, you know what? We're going to just take out all the stimulus. We're just not going to do it. We're going to leave it to January. Joe is going to take care of it. There'll be no stimulus for anyone. And so be it. I don't think they can do that because I think the problem creators have now created a problem for themselves, which is saying we have to have this stimulus in the next, 4 weeks. And so by talking about that, I don't think they can do CR without stimulus now. And then the final thing that I think they could do is just shut down the federal government. Just shut it down till they really get the message out loud and clear. Bernie has warned that. He has said, Congress is not going home until we get this done. That's what the American people want. Now, I mean, we have heard that from Nancy and Mitch before. I'm not going home. I'm not going home. And then they go home. But Bernie is sort of different. So, how many times has Nancy said, we will stay here until we get it done, and we will fly back if we get it done, and we will stay in session. But then they don't. So you need to really, as someone just said, go Bernie, go Josh, LA field trip to DC. What you need to shut this government down. If they don't get it right, they need to shut it down. Finally, the most important thing, what about the $800 billion that $800 billion of CARES Act 1 and SBA, it is still there. It is still there. It can still be repurposed. It has not moved. And so it's libertarian. There you go. Shut it down. LA field trip to DC protest. Social media protest. You got to get very vocal. Oh, the last thing I wanted to really say to you is you have to get ahead of the story because the problem creators are doing a very good pitch. Their pitch is, we need relief, and this is the relief, and we need relief, and everything is going to be horrible, and this is the best thing since sliced bread. And ultimately, there's not as much coverage of the other version of the story, which is This is big bailout for big business. This is big business bailout again. This is big business bailout. And that message is not getting out is not getting out loud enough. So you need to be on social media and get that message out very loud and clear. Tag the reporters that cover the subject, like the wonderful at Kelly CNBC. Tag Bernie Sanders at Bernie Sanders. Tag Hawley HAWLEYMO. Tag Elizabeth Warren. Tag AOC and say, hey, this has got to stop. This is just crazy. With that, let me turn to some holiday decor for a second. One of the important things to understand around holiday decor is mugs. And I've done mugs before for holiday decor. But nothing says holiday more than really over the top mugs. Whether it's Santa or Santa's house or a house with some snow on the top in California. Nothing says cutesy, cheery, holiday-ish than really over the top mugs. Many of these mugs you will not find in your department store. That you'll ultimately find them in garage sales. There's always a garage sale with just insanely crazy, adorable mugs. And a lot of the reasons why is because most of the stuff you see today is not done in the same sort of artistic motif that things were done in the 70s and 80s and 60s. They're a little bit more over the top. I think these would clearly be 1980s type mugs. They're very decadent. Now you have a little bit more simplistic mugs. Amazon has everything someone just said. And what's great about mugs is that they really do say a lot of crazy things. I mean, this is a mug where the bottom of the neck is a scarf, and then the scarf continues on the side. He has a hat, which is the top of the mug, and hand wash only. So it's not even microwavable. This is another mug. Oh, same company, and hand wash only. And here you have a house on one side. You turn it around slowly, and then you have a red house, and you turn around. You have a yellow house, and then you have some holly on the side, mistletoe, and some Christmas trees. You see how big this mug is? I mean, it's almost as big as my face. One of the big things with the mugs is that 99 cents has great mugs. Oh, wonderful. One of the greatest things about mugs is that they bring the decor. But the bad thing about mugs is sometimes they're just so hard to store. They're really, really hard to store because ultimately, when the season's over, where are you going to put 24 of these? If you got a 12 set of one of them, you're like, where am I going to put them? Dollar General, someone said, beautiful mugs. Steins, that's another word for them, Steins. And so ultimately, when you're buying something like this, whether it's Frosty or someone's snowman's house, you need to figure out whether or not you actually have space to store them. Great advice is coming across the screen from people who went to Dollar General or Dollar Tree that said they have something like this. Mugs on my desk for pens. Oh, that's a great point. But if you don't have a place on your desk for 12 mugs, then ultimately you got to figure out where this is going to go. Ultimately, it brings a lot of cheer, but make sure when you're getting stuff during the holiday season that it's not too overwhelming, that you don't know where that cheer could be stored when you're done with the holiday season. Remember, they're generally a form of porcelain, or metal, and so they can break. They can break. Yes, this is Holidays LA, our midday show that gives you about 10 minutes of coverage of your stimulus check, and then the second 10 minutes is holiday decor to get you through the holiday season. Finally, a lot of people have been asking about the background and the changes. So yeah, it got changed up a little bit yesterday and the day before. So now you see some icicle lights, which are new. More balls were added because I thought it needed more contrast, and I have gold and silver. Because you can't be really monochromatic. You have to bring a gold and a silver. And now you got your two friends in the background. They're trying to upstage me every day. That's Nance and Chuck over there. You got the wood the woodcracker. You got the guy with the hat, and then the guy with the big beard. And so they're watching out for you as much as I am. So with that, thank you for the midday rundown. I'll have updates on afternoon check about 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. That will be when I'll be reporting to you what Nancy said at her press conference after the meeting. And you know what that press conference is going to say? crush the virus. Mitch is killing people. And then Chuck is gonna say, it's an anorexic bill. And then Mitch is gonna say, Nancy is just has a wish list, and and she's not getting serious. As always, thank you for the big love, and I'll see you in about 3:30, just shortly from now. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay life for more.